And now it's time for a message from our sponsor, Intuit.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jon Fasoli. I am the Vice President and Segment Leader for our Small Business and Self-Employed group within Intuit QuickBooks. I'm joined today by Ashok Srivastava, who is our Chief Data Officer and Senior Vice President, and one of the smartest people that I know. We're joining you here today during a historically difficult time for small businesses. And we pride ourselves as being a customer-centric company. And so we're here today to share with you how we're looking at the overall problems that our customers are seeing and experiencing and how AI can help to assist them. You may have heard of Intuit. We are the proud makers of TurboTax, Mint, and QuickBooks. I'd love to dive right into the questions. And the first one is pretty high level. So what is AI and how should this audience think about and understand AI?
Artificial intelligence is one of those fields that is transformational. And the reason it's transformational is it literally helps machines start to perceive the world around them and to learn from the world around them so that they can do their tasks better.
I know when we think of AI, we think about typically big companies, big data centers. Small business isn't always the first thing that comes to mind. So could you bring to life, how are small businesses using digitally powered tools with AI today?
Small businesses face unprecedented challenges, and today even more because of the pandemic. One of the things that I'm excited about is that we want to put AI into the hands of small business users in such a way that they can understand the pulse of their business immediately. Everyone wants to know, how much money do I have? What's my cash flow situation? What's my revenue projection? This is the lifeline for small businesses. And AI is really one of the only tools that small businesses have at their disposal to figure that out, to get the right information at the right time in the right context. That's what AI is all about.
I know the two of us, we spend so much time with small business customers, and we've seen just the devastating impact that the pandemic have had on their business. But we've also seen the perseverance, the businesses that are pivoting and finding a way to survive in this environment. One of those shifts has been the shift to e-commerce. And I'm just wondering if you could bring to life, how have small businesses who've made this change adapted, and what kind of AI tools are they using to assist with that?
John, you're so right. As I go out into my neighborhood and into my community, and I see the perseverance of small businesses, it's so inspiring to me. These businesses are making it day by day, and they're doing it through a number of things. They're trying to bring customers in. They're really trying to understand who their customers are. They're trying to make sure that they're serving them the best. Now, artificial intelligence certainly helps them. One of the first things that comes to mind is that today, more than ever, in my opinion, for small businesses, they need access to capital. Now, it turns out that when small businesses go to traditional vendors and traditional lenders, what we find is that they're often declined because they may not have all of their finances in order perfectly for a bank to provide them with a loan. However, what we've tried to do in partnership with your team and many other teams at Intuit is help power QuickBooks Capital, which is a product that really allows small businesses to connect with capital, to get it in short order, and to help them make their payroll. And what we're really excited about is it's giving 60% of small businesses who wouldn't have gotten credit elsewhere, they can get the credit from us so that they can keep themselves going. This is just one of the examples that we have. And I can't tell you how important AI is in this world, because that ability to make a quick decision for a small business so that they can get the capital that they need is all powered by artificial intelligence.
Obviously, we're developing AI tools for broader audiences, even those who aren't Intuit's customers. One of those is Aid Assist, and I'm wondering if you could bring to life what we're doing with the Aid Assist tool during this pandemic.
That's a great question, John. The company launched Intuit Aid Assist in order to help small businesses get access to the funds that were coming from the CARES Act. And one of the most amazing applications of AI actually happened in the development of that product because we took all of the rules and regulations that came and automatically, through the use of AI, converted it into computer code that could then serve small businesses as they came applying for that funding. And so essentially what happens is rather than taking them through a very long and complex process of application, we only ask them the questions that they really need to answer, and that helps them just get through the process faster, and it puts money in their hands quicker.
So we've talked a little bit about those who are looking to survive the pandemic and how AI can help. How about those that are looking to get a competitive advantage? Either those who are in industries that are doing fairly well during this pandemic or coming out of it as we see a strong resurgence of small business. How can AI help give them that edge?
AI is one of these tools that can help people in a variety of spaces. It's something that I'd find extremely exciting. This ability for AI to help customers of Intuit understand what's happening with respect to their books. Now, if I know that I actually have more money coming in, I might be able to take a risk. I might be able to make an investment that others may not be able to make because their finances might be in disarray.
So as you're talking to small business customers and as you're looking out as a technologist at the longer term horizon, what do you think are the breakthroughs ahead of us when it comes to small business technology?
One of the breakthroughs that is, it's the future that's happening today. That's the way I like to think about it, is the ability for AI to do cash flow forecasting. So when I was running a small business, I remember that, the beginning of the month, I wanted to make sure that I'd have money at the end of the month to pay the rent and to pay for merchandise and all the other things that we were doing at the time. And I didn't have the ability to actually make a prediction. I didn't know who was going to come in the store. I didn't know what they were going to buy. And yet I knew that I had bills to pay. Well, AI is something that can help solve that problem today because what we've done is built algorithms, computer programs that can look through data and start to make predictions about how much cash flow a small business is going to have, let's say, after 7 days or maybe 14 days or after a month or 2 months. And that insight is transformational. It tells you what's going to happen. It may not be perfectly accurate, but it gives you a forecast that you can take to the bank, you can really use, and that's powerful.
I know many of the folks who may be listening to this and our members of Congress are having a lot of very exciting conversations around what the future of AI looks like and how we should be thinking about legislation, particularly in that category of ethical AI. And so as you're an expert in this field, what advice would you give those listening to this call as to how to think about the approach when it comes to the future of AI, particularly for small business?
Yeah, it's a great question and one that I think about a lot. I think first and foremost, it's to understand what AI is and what AI is not. AI is not something that can solve all problems. It's something that does require human understanding and human expertise. I think humans and AI need to work together, not only now, but in the future. And I really view AI as a decision support system. It's something that makes humans do their jobs better. But I can't emphasize enough how important it is that the United States be first and foremost in its AI research and development. And I really do feel that the government plays an important role in funding this type of research. I can tell you that as we look globally, there are players out there that are really making tremendous investments in building the AI muscle for their nations. And it's important that we do that ourselves. I think that funding academia, funding industry, and providing funds to the government institutions themselves, like NASA and other institutions, that can really help to power the understanding of AI, build new AI capabilities. These are things that you invest $1 and you get $10 return after that.
Ashok, thank you so much for lending your time and expertise as always. Thank you for everybody who has listened to our conversation today.
Jon, it's been great to talk with you. I love the work that you're doing and everything that we're doing to help small businesses all over the world.